Do you ever feel like your body is sending you mixed signals? On one hand, you make an effort to drink water constantly, bottle in hand, convinced you're doing the right thing for your health. But on the other hand, the reality is a persistent fatigue that follows you like a shadow, muscle cramps that wake you up in the middle of the night with a painful jolt, and skin that, no matter how much cream you apply, feels tight and dehydrated. Does that feeling of waking up in the morning more exhausted than when you went to bed sound familiar, as if your muscles and mind haven't recharged at all? This is the perplexing paradox faced by millions of people, especially those who have celebrated their 60th birthday. You think you're following the rules of the health game, but it seems the rules have changed without anyone telling you. And here is the truth, a fundamental truth that is rarely discussed in today's quick medical consultations. Hydration in this new stage of life is a completely different science. The problem isn't just about the number of liters you drink, but about the quality and intelligence of that hydration. The actual ability of the water to cross your cellular membranes and energize your body from the inside out. Now, imagine for a moment that there was an adjustment, an incredibly simple and accessible one, based on the most advanced discoveries in longevity science and backed by world-renowned figures like Dr. David Sinclair from Harvard University. A small change in how you prepare your glass of water each day could be the master key that unlocks a new level of muscular energy, restores elasticity and glow to your skin, and allows you to experience a vitality you thought you had lost forever. Don't go anywhere, because what I'm about to share with you is not an unattainable product or a pharmaceutical solution with a long list of side effects. It's a secret held in the heart of nature, a biological principle that can boost your hydration to a deep cellular level and change the rules of the game in your favor. If this introduction has already piqued your interest and you feel this information is vital to transforming your quality of life, I ask you to do something very simple but powerful. Click the like button so this knowledge can reach more people who, like you, are looking for answers. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. By doing so, you'll ensure you don't miss a single one of our future videos, packed with practical advice for you to live your best years with renewed health and vigor. Now, let's continue this journey. To truly understand why that glass of plain water no longer has the same effect it used to, we need to take a deep dive into the fascinating biology of our aging process. As the decades go by, our body undergoes a series of internal transformations, subtle yet enormous in their impact. One of the most critical and silent is the dulling of our thirst signal. The sophisticated mechanism located in our hypothalamus, that sort of internal sensor that screams, "Hey, you need to drink water," becomes less sensitive, almost as if its volume has been turned down. This means you can spend long periods in a state of mild to moderate dehydration without your brain sending you a clear warning signal. It's a silent failure in our internal alarm system that leaves us vulnerable. But this is just the beginning of the story. Our kidneys, those master organs responsible for filtering and balancing the body's fluids, also change how they function. Their ability to concentrate urine and conserve water progressively decreases. In practice, this means we lose more fluid, and with it, precious minerals, every time we go to the bathroom. Added to this situation is a fundamental change in our body composition. While a young adult is made up of approximately 60% water, this figure can drop dramatically to 50% or even less in older age. This decrease is directly related to the loss of muscle mass, a phenomenon known as sarcopenia. As muscles are one of the body's main water reservoirs, we literally have a smaller water reserve tank to begin with. Now, if we add to this complex biological equation the common use of certain medications, such as diuretics prescribed to control blood pressure, which are designed to actively expel fluids and mineral salts, we find ourselves in the perfect storm for chronic dehydration. And it's crucial to understand that this dehydration is not a minor inconvenience. It's a silent thief that robs you of energy, strength, and muscle health day after day. When your muscle cells are not properly hydrated, their function is severely compromised. Think of a high-performance car engine running with little or no oil. The result is more friction, more overheating, more wear and tear, and drastically reduced efficiency. Exactly the same thing happens inside your muscles. The lack of effective cellular hydration leads directly to those painful nightly cramps, a weakness that spreads throughout the body, a much slower recovery even after a simple activity like a walk, and a chronic fatigue that we often mistakenly attribute to just getting older. But it's not just age. It's a specific physiological state, an imbalance that, fortunately, we can correct. And this is where the big secret comes into play, the missing component in your water that makes it truly effective. Electrolytes. When you hear the word electrolytes, your mind probably immediately associates it with brightly colored sports drinks designed for elite athletes. However, the truth is that these minerals are absolutely fundamental for human life, and their importance multiplies exponentially as we age. Electrolytes are, in essence, minerals that carry an electric charge when dissolved in our body's fluids, like blood or intracellular fluid. They are the spark plugs of our organism. They conduct the electricity necessary for countless biological processes to occur, from the transmission of nerve impulses to the contraction of every one of our muscle fibers. But their most vital function in the context of hydration is maintaining fluid balance. Without an adequate concentration of electrolytes, the water you drink so diligently has great difficulty making its final journey, passing from the bloodstream into your cells, which is where it's truly needed to generate energy and perform its functions. The water, in a way, can pass right through your system, being eliminated without having effectively hydrated your tissues, muscles, and organs. So, what exactly are these magical minerals and why are they so indispensable? Let's break them down and understand their individual roles, because each one plays a unique and irreplaceable part. Number 1. Sodium, the misunderstood master regulator. For decades, sodium has been unjustly demonized. We've been bombarded with the message to drastically reduce it, to avoid it at all costs, associating it almost exclusively with high blood pressure. While it's absolutely true that an excess of processed sodium, the kind abundant in fast food, canned soups, cured meats, and ultra-processed foods, is harmful to health, the reaction has been so extreme that we've forgotten a fundamental biological truth. Sodium is an essential nutrient for survival. High-quality sodium, like that found in unrefined sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, is not the enemy. In fact, it's an indispensable ally. Its primary function in the body is to act as the great regulator of blood volume and the fluids outside the cells, extracellular fluid. Think of sodium as the guardian of water in your body. Its electrical charge attracts water molecules and holds them where they are needed. When blood sodium levels are too low, a condition known as hyponatremia, which is surprisingly common in older adults who drink large amounts of plain water and follow very salt-restrictive diets, the body simply cannot retain fluid effectively. This not only causes poor muscle hydration, but can trigger serious neurological symptoms like mental confusion, lethargy, headaches, nausea, and even, in severe cases, seizures. Furthermore, sodium is absolutely vital for proper nerve function and muscle contractions. Every thought you generate, every move you make, every beat of your heart depends on the electrical impulses that sodium helps to generate. By completely eliminating quality sodium from your diet, you are depriving your muscles and nervous system of one of their most basic tools. A small pinch of unrefined sea salt in your glass of water will not only not have the same effect on blood pressure as processed table salt, but it will provide your body with the tool it needs to direct water to your thirsty muscle cells. Number 2. Potassium, the essential counterweight. If sodium is the guardian of the fluid outside the cells, potassium is its perfect counterpart, the master of the fluid inside the cells. These two minerals do not work in isolation. They engage in a constant and exquisitely balanced dance known as the sodium-potassium pump. This pump, a protein found in the membrane of virtually every cell in your body, uses a significant amount of energy to actively move sodium ions out of the cell and potassium ions in. This seemingly simple process is so fundamental that it consumes about 20 to 40% of the energy your brain uses at rest. It is the basis for generating nerve impulses, muscle contraction, and, crucially, maintaining a stable and regular heart rhythm. An imbalance in this dance with too much sodium and too little potassium is one of the most significant underlying causes of hypertension in modern society. The problem isn't just the excess sodium, but the lack of potassium to counteract its effects. For muscle health, potassium is the undisputed king. It is absolutely essential for muscle fibers to contract and relax in a coordinated and efficient manner. Muscle weakness, painful cramps, and spasms are classic symptoms that indicate a possible potassium deficiency. Furthermore, feeling an irregular heartbeat or palpitations can be a warning sign that your potassium levels need attention. As we age, changes in our kidney function can cause us to lose more potassium through urine, so consciously replenishing it becomes even more critical. Fortunately, nature is generous and offers us potassium in abundance. Foods like avocado, spinach, sweet potatoes, bananas, and coconut water are extraordinary sources. A simple gesture like adding a splash of lemon juice to your water not only gives it a refreshing taste, but also provides you with a valuable dose of potassium and vitamin C, making it an easy and effective first step to improving your electrolyte balance. If an award were to be given for the superstar mineral for health after relaxation and magnesium would undoubtedly be the winner. It's popularly known as the relaxation mineral, and this nickname falls short of describing its importance. Magnesium is a cofactor in over 600 biochemical reactions in the body. More than 600 different functions. From cellular energy production, ATP, and the synthesis of our DNA, to the regulation of nerve function and blood sugar control, magnesium is involved in almost everything. Despite its critical importance, it's estimated that a large portion of the population, with a particularly high incidence in older adults, suffers from a deficiency of this vital mineral. The reasons are multiple. Intensive agricultural practices have depleted magnesium from the soil, resulting in less nutritious food than 50 years ago. Furthermore, modern lifestyle factors like chronic stress, high sugar consumption, and alcohol rapidly deplete our body's magnesium reserves. For muscle health, magnesium plays the role of yin to calcium's yang. While calcium is necessary for muscles to contract, magnesium is absolutely essential for them to relax. Imagine your muscles as a light switch. Calcium turns it on, magnesium turns it off. When you are deficient in magnesium, your muscles can't completely turn off. They remain in a state of semi-contraction, which manifests as stiffness, the classic and painful nocturnal leg cramps, involuntary eyelid twitches, and a general feeling of tension. This is not only uncomfortable, but it also prevents proper muscle recovery after exercise and contributes directly to the feeling of fatigue. Go far beyond the muscles. It is fundamental for the production of ATP, the molecule that serves as the universal energy currency in our cells. More available magnesium can directly translate into more energy. It also plays a crucial role in regulating our nervous system, helping to calm the fight-or-flight response, reducing anxiety, and promoting deep, restorative sleep, something many older adults desperately crave. And it is during the deep sleep phases that our muscles truly repair, regenerate, and grow. Therefore, by improving sleep quality, magnesium indirectly supports muscle health and strength. Excellent food sources of magnesium include almonds, pumpkin seeds, dark green leafy vegetables like spinach and chard, and high-quality dark chocolate. However, due to the difficulty of obtaining optimal levels through diet alone, Supplementation with highly bioavailable forms like magnesium glycinate or citrate can be a very smart strategy, always done under the supervision of a healthcare professional. Number 4. Calcium, much more than bones. We all grew up with the idea that calcium is synonymous with strong bones and teeth. From childhood, we are taught that it is essential for building and maintaining a robust skeleton, and that is absolutely true. Preventing osteoporosis is undoubtedly one of the biggest health concerns in older age, and calcium is the cornerstone of any preventive strategy. But limiting calcium's role to our bones would be a serious mistake. Calcium is also the primary chemical messenger for muscle contraction. Here's how it works. When your brain decides to move a muscle, it sends an electrical signal through the nerves. This signal, upon reaching the muscle cell, triggers the release of calcium ions that were stored inside. It is this sudden flood of calcium that allows the muscle proteins, known as actin and myosin, to bind and slide past each other, creating the physical contraction we recognize as movement. Without enough available calcium, this signal weakens. Your muscles cannot contract with the strength, speed, and precision they should, resulting in general weakness, a slower motor response, and a greater sense of effort. As we mentioned earlier, calcium and magnesium are an inseparable team that needs to be in a delicate balance. Too much calcium without enough magnesium to counteract it can lead to overcontraction, manifesting in cramps, spasms, and muscle stiffness. That's why nature is so wise in often providing these minerals together in whole foods. While dairy products are the most advertised source, they are not the only or necessarily the best option for everyone. For those with lactose intolerance or who simply prefer other alternatives, sardines, eaten with their small bones, broccoli, kale, and almonds are fantastic sources of highly bioavailable calcium. Ensuring you have enough calcium not only protects your skeletal structure, but also guarantees that your muscles have the signaling fuel needed to contract with power and precision in every movement. This is where we connect all these dots to the forefront of longevity science, a field led by figures like Dr. David Sinclair. He and other pioneering scientists don't focus on treating individual diseases in isolation, but on understanding and addressing the aging process itself at the cellular level. They speak tirelessly about the importance of maintaining an optimal cellular environment, a perfect home for our cells to function with the same efficiency and resilience they had in their youth. And an optimal cellular environment is, by definition, a perfectly hydrated and impeccably electrolyte-balanced environment. The key biological processes that Dr. Sinclair and his team study, such as the function of sirtuins, often called the longevity genes, and the production of NAD+, a vital coenzyme for energy metabolism, critically depend on the cell having all the resources it needs to operate. A dehydrated cell with an electrolyte imbalance is a stressed cell that cannot produce energy efficiently, cannot repair its own DNA correctly, and is much more vulnerable to the oxidative damage that accelerates the aging process. Therefore, by ensuring your hydration is rich in these essential electrolytes, you are not just relieving muscle cramps or fatigue. You are, in fact, supporting the most fundamental mechanisms of longevity at a microscopic level. You are creating an internal terrain that promotes cellular vitality and resilience, which is the true essence of healthy and active aging. So, the million-dollar question is, how do we put all this knowledge into practice in a safe, simple, and effective way in our daily lives? The answer is surprisingly simple. The idea is not to run out and buy commercial sports drinks, which are often loaded with sugar, artificial colors, and other unnecessary additives. It's about creating your own enhanced water, or smart water, at home. The basic and fundamental recipe is as follows. In a large glass or water bottle, about 500 milliliters to 1 liter, simply add a generous pinch, about 1/8 to 1/4 of a teaspoon, of unrefined sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. This simple gesture will provide the crucial sodium your cells need to retain water, plus over 80 other trace minerals that have been stripped from processed fresh lemon or lime juice. This not only radically improves the taste but also gives you a significant dose of potassium and vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant. Optionally, if you're looking for an extra potassium boost, you can add a very small pinch of cream of tartar, potassium bitartrate, which is a very concentrated source of this mineral. It's important to start with a minimal amount and see how you feel. The key is to sip this mixture throughout the day, rather than chugging it all at once. It's especially beneficial to drink it in the morning to rehydrate effectively after the overnight fast, or before, during, and after any type of physical activity, even a simple walk. Now, a warning of utmost importance. Before making any significant changes to your mineral intake, especially if you have pre-existing medical conditions such as kidney disease, congestive heart failure, or hypertension, it is absolutely essential that you talk to your doctor. He or she knows your complete medical history and can advise you on the safe and appropriate amounts for your particular case. This advice is for educational purposes and in no way replaces professional medical consultation. To further enhance your hydration status, don't just limit yourself to what you drink. You can literally eat your water. Foods like cucumber, celery, melon, watermelon, and strawberries have a water content of over 90%, and moreover, come naturally packaged with vitamins, fiber, and their own minerals. Incorporating these foods into your daily diet is a delicious and natural way to keep your cells juicy and hydrated from the inside out. And forget about the old and outdated 8 glasses a day rule. Hydration is a deeply personal matter. It depends on your activity level, the climate you live in, your age, and your unique physiology. A much more reliable and personalized indicator is the color of your urine. Aim for it to be a pale yellow color, if it's completely similar clear, to straw. You may be drinking too much water and, as a result, flushing out valuable electrolytes. If it's a dark yellow or amber color, it's a clear sign that you need to increase your fluid intake. In summary, the key to unlocking deep muscle hydration and renewed vitality after 60 does not lie in flooding your body with liters of plain water, but in giving it the type of water that your cells can actually absorb, retain, and use. By consciously reintroducing the fundamental electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, in the right balance, you are providing your body with the master tools for fluid regulation, nerve function, and muscle energy production. You are transforming a simple glass of water into a potent elixir of cellular hydration. This simple act of adding a pinch of good quality salt and a splash of lemon to your water could be the most profound, simple, and beneficial change you make for your health this year, allowing you to move with less pain, think with more clarity, and live each day with the energy and enthusiasm you truly deserve. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive into smart hydration. If you have found value and clarity in this information, I encourage you to share it with a friend, a family member, or any loved one who could also benefit from this knowledge. And now, I would love to hear from you. Have you experienced any of these symptoms of chronic dehydration? Do you have any of your own tips that have worked for you to stay hydrated and energetic? Please leave me a comment below. Your experience and insights enrich our entire community. Take great care, and I'll see you in the next video.